Yo, what's up? We're back playing this game again because the guy who bought this game for me, I was talking to him about how Anne and the protagonists were completely they were off the charts, like sexual and horny, and it was terrible. And it blew him away because he went to a different route. He ended up with a different girl, and it was completely PG for him. So we were talking back and forth, and we decided that we had to see what was going to happen if we tried to get with Konami, which is the protagonist's sister. And he's under the impression that surely there's not going to be anything that's above PG when it comes to incest on Steam, right? And I'm like, so here we are, and as I say in the description, I fast-forwarded through all the stuff that I've already done. Sorry. Everything's the same up until this point, and if you look in the description, you can see that I made links and timestamps so that you can catch up if you want to. And with all that said, let's get into it and invite her to the school cafeteria. I don't mind us having lunch together. No. Decline it? Why would I? You have a point. I suppose I'll decline then. I'm joking. I plan on going to the school cafeteria. Want to tag along? Konami happily lines up alongside me, and we set off towards the school cafeteria. Then, a thought resurfaces in my mind. The fact that Konami doesn't have lunch with her means... Yeah, it looks like it. By the way, it's Asaba-sensei here at school, not Aoi-san. No? There's no need to run away, at least I don't think there is. In the time we finish our little dialogue, Aoi-san arrives. Asaba-sensei, I don't think you should run in the hallway. Taking deep breaths, Aoi-san calms her breathing. If a teacher handed over money to a student within the school, it'd be sort of problematic. I'll pay for Konami's food expenses today. In order to lighten Aoi-san's mood, we buy our lunch at the school store or eat at the cafeteria 2 or 3 times a week. She's the type who would prepare a handmade lunch regardless of how tired she was, so it was pretty hard to convince her of this. Also, today will be Konami's first time at the school cafeteria. Please don't mind that, but I guess you won't listen anyway, right? Well, I guess you have a point. Right. I will gladly accept it later. Don't give me more than what I've spent. She looks all ready to casually hand me a large sum of money, so I put a little reminder in place. Alright, let's go, Konami. Yeah, okay. Excuse us then, Asaba-sensei. Seen out by Aoi-san, Konami and I head towards the school cafeteria. Actually, I'd have liked to invite Aoi-san to lunch with us as well, but we're students and teacher here, so I couldn't do that. Does it receive your passing grades? At Mihaya Academy's cafeteria, students serve the customers, operate the register, etc. The general setup is that of a part-time job done by boarding students. The reason is because the boarding students receive their meals here, they are encouraged to take a part-time job here as a form of elevating autonomy. Just like Konami said, the atmosphere feels nice and the food is also pretty good. Overall, you can easily say that this is a pretty high-level school cafeteria. This makes your cafeteria debut. Pick anything you want. That'd certainly be the standard for school cafeterias, but unfortunately you have to order here. Right. Especially at times like these when lots of students come in, the employees seem to have their hands full. And you're in the same boat from now on as well. But that aside, where do you want to say it? That thing is popping up because I have my Xbox controller plugged in. Okay. Then over here, I guess. Let's go. Leaving Konami, I secure a window side seat. Maybe it's because almost no first years use the cafeteria as of yet, but it's really empty today. And on top of that, it's usually almost impossible to get seats with such a good view, so I guess I can consider ourselves lucky. Alright, so what do you want to have? Let's see. As I try to remember what I usually order, someone suddenly calls out to us. Eh? Tsukishima, that's you, right? Probably because she's so bewildered that she couldn't think of the words to say, her words sound a bit stiff. Come to think of it, Tsukishima is also a boarding student, but I never thought she'd be working here. I've used the cafeteria many times now, so it's actually quite strange that I've never seen her before. Yeah, it truly does. In response to our gazes directed towards her, Tsukishima appears to be rather fidgety. You don't like the uniform? Embarrassing. It's crazy. It really does suit her nicely, though. Oh. As Konami pokes my leg with the toes from under the table, I divert my eyes from Tsukishima. Seems I've been unintentionally staring at her too much. So, you're working part-time here? I see. Even so, that must be hard. Not only are you the PMC, but you're also working part-time. Oh yeah, you said the previous chairman quit. So, you're still suffering under the repercussions because of that? If I remember correctly, a handful of students is elected from the entire student body instead of electing one from each class. The way the students conduct themselves every day, the number of times they're late, and the other various factors come into play when selecting PMC members. So they're basically like a group of officially recognized honor students of the school. And Tsukishima is the PMC chairwoman who stands at the top of all those honor students. So I guess it's only natural that she has a lot on her plate. I see, so that's what you're worried about. What's that? Did she do something? Guessing from her expression that has a wry smile mixed in, it's more or less clear who is at fault here. It was the same with the posters, so she might unexpectedly make a lot of blunders. In response to our sigh-filled conversation, Konami tilts her head in puzzlement.
あ、コナミさんは知らないのね。一応ここの生徒会長よ。その生徒会長さんがどうして問題に？ちょっとね、いろいろと困った先輩で。厄介な人なんですか？厄介というか、なんというか。
Well, feels like you can't deal with her using ordinary means.
じゃあ気をつけて会いに行かないと。会いに行くの？はい、ちょっとした相談に。
Discuss with her?
部活のこと。
That's understandable then.
もう一回調べてみたんだけど、やっぱり三早学園に将棋部はないみたいなの。
Come to think of it, she talked to me about that last night.
だから部員一人で新しい部を作れるか聞いてみる。
I see, so that's why.
コナミさんは将棋が好きなの？
Yeah, she was influenced by her father, and has been playing since she was a kid. Sakishima shows a surprised reaction in response to that mature hobby. Well, it's true that that is unusual.
ところで、兄さんと優里先輩にその会長さんの攻略方法をお聞きしたいのだけど。
That's a tough one.
そうね。
Is there any way to win her over?
ないの？
To be honest, I have no idea. It was just last week that I met her for the first time, so I don't know that well in the first place.
私もちょっとわからない。そうですか。
But regardless, I suppose she'll probably help you. When I talked to her regarding the poster, she put aside her work and earnestly talked it through with me.
わかった。それじゃあ後で生徒会室に行ってみるね。気をつけてね、コナミさん。
It's not like she'll devour her, so no need to get worried to that extent. Hi, didn't you come to take our orders?
そうだったわね。
Having talked for so long, we consider ourselves lucky that it happened to be empty today. Well then, the menu cards are already here, so we should choose our orders now. What are you gonna get?
じゃあ、兄さんのおすすめので。
Whenever we're eating out, you always let me choose for you and order the same thing I do.
だってその方がお会計も簡単だし。
Just honestly admit that you're doing it because you think it's too much of a bother to choose by yourself.
自分で選ぶの面倒。
Don't eventually end up saying that it's too much of a bother to eat as well, alright?
その時は兄さんに食べさせてもらうから。
Man, you say it like it's automatic.
二人は仲がいいのね。少し羨ましい。
In response to our conversation, Shikishima unexpectedly leaks a somewhat lonely-sounding voice. What comes to mind is Hanako's audacious figure. Still, to me, the Shikishima sisters don't really look like they're on bad terms with each other. The grass is always greener on the other side, that's all. Cheer up. If a waitress makes such a face, it'll make the customers feel uneasy.
ありがとう、アスバくん。お客さんに励まされるなんて接客係失格ね。
Oh. With that, she smiles tenderly. That might not be true.
どういうこと？
As a customer, I get to see you making such a great smile like you showed just now, so I think most will consider themselves lucky to be served by you. Tsukishima?
注文が決まったら呼んでね。
Tsukishima hurriedly walks away from our table.
さすが賞金首。
What does that mean?
そう。
Come on, doesn't matter what, just decide your order already.
はーい。
After school, since we're alphabetically close, Mio and I are together on our duty this week. Phew, that's about it. Mio, how's it going on your end?
こっちももうすぐ終わるよ。
Mio replies while miming her pencil.
ねえねえ、 の名前も私が書いていい？
Sure, thanks.
ゆうくんには黒板を消すのもやってもらっちゃってるし。
To increase efficiency, we split the different tasks between us.
ゆうくんの名前ちょっと曲がっちゃった。
Show me.
待って、今消して書き直すから。
You don't have to rewrite it only because it's a bit crooked.
もう少し可愛く書きたいし。
I think it's quite rare to see someone filling out a class register with such enthusiasm. Your letters are really round.
ゆうくんは国語の先生みたいに綺麗な字を書くよね。
Since my father was a Japanese teacher, he was really fussy about this sort of thing after all. By the way, you misspelled that there.
どこ？
Just give me the pencil for a second. Oh, sorry. Was my face too close? I can't make her cry due to my carelessness. I have to pay more attention.
ゆうくんの喉仏にドキドキしちゃった。
Why would your heart throb at that?
でも女の子は割とそういうところを見ちゃうと思うよ。あと手の指とか甲の血管とか。
All spots I usually never take a closer look at. At times I feel somewhat envious at her ability to openly speak her feelings like this. As I shift my gaze towards the open door, I spot Tsukishima standing there. Tsukishima, you're still here?
ゆりちゃんだ。どうしたの？ちょっと人を探してて。二人は終盤だったわよね。これから先生に日誌を持っていくところ。そうなの。じゃあ頑張ってね、みお。ゆりちゃんも少しお話ししていかない？
You said you were looking for someone? You want some help?
そうだね。日誌出したら私も手伝うよ。それは、
For only a brief moment, Tsukishima looks at me. But as I shift my gaze in response to noticing that, she averts her eyes.
せっかくだけど大丈夫よ。二人とも知らない風紀委員の人だから。そっか、残念。二人ともまた明日ね。
Yeah.
バイバイ。
Looking at her back, that kind of seems like she's running away. I am unsatisfied with the outcome. And I get up from my seat. Tsukishima is the only one in the PMC from our class, so it's more likely that there should be a different reason for why she came to our classroom. Sorry, I'll leave this to you.
任せて。
Tsukishima. Didn't you come to talk to Mio about something? If it's inconvenient to have me present, I'll leave you two alone. But Tsukishima just stands there, stone still. Sorry. Did I get it wrong? This is quite unusual for her. She seems to be at a loss for words.
二人きりのところを邪魔しちゃ悪いかなって。
Two of us. Mio and me? What are you talking about?
何って。
Mio and I have always been together since we were little, you know? As if I'd see a friend of Mio as an annoyance.
だよね。
In fact, Mio would be more than happy if you were with us, so let's... And just as I'm about to invite her...
ゆうくん、日誌書き終わったよ。
Mio's awfully carefree voice comes out of the classroom. Talk about bad timing. So, you want to come with us?
大丈夫。私もまだお仕事あるし。
I see. Sorry for holding you up.
ありがとう。
No need to thank me. I mean, I've used up your time even though you're in a hurry, so I'll see you tomorrow.
またね。
As I gaze at her back, I ruminate on how weird she just acted. It's different from both her usual diligent appearance and the playful atmosphere she had around her at the cafeteria today. What is with this girl? In the time I rack my brains over that question without arriving at an answer, Mio comes out of the classroom.
お仕事完了したよ。
Yeah, I heard. So let's bring the facility. Let's bring it to the facility room and go home. Well, I guess it's probably a bad idea to pry about the matter. Sakisha must have her reasons, and above all, it's wrong for me to poke my nose into her business.
どうしたの、ゆうくん。
No, it's nothing. Looking at Mio walking alongside me, there was something I couldn't keep myself from thinking about.
日誌可愛く描けたよ。
Don't you think it's a little... Don't you think you put a little too much effort into that?
いいの。だって楽しいよ。
I see. I must say, if possible, I'd like Tsukishima to smile like Mio does as well.
失礼します。あ、妹ちゃんでしょ、あなた。はい、妹ちゃんこと浅田好美です。そういうそちらは神保先輩でしょうか。ええ、私が三早学園生徒会長の神保愛よ。よく来たわね。まるで私のことを待ち構えていたみたいですね。あ、ちょっとお話ししてみたいなって思ってたらご本人が来たからね。それは光栄です。私のことはお兄さんから聞いてたの？うん、もう。そっかそっか。俺、アン先輩のこと好きになっちゃったみたいだ。いえ、特には。ただ、苦悩の表情を浮かべていました。
Oh man.
微妙な反応だ。嫌ってるわけではないと思いますが、ちょっと苦手かもしれません。そうなの？それはショックかも。ところで今日は聞きたいことがあって来たのですが。ああ、ごめんね。何かな？実は新しい部を作りたいのですが、部員一人では無理でしょうか？新しい部か。ちなみに何部を作りたいの？将棋部です。へえ、コナタンは将棋をする人なんだ。コナタン？
コナタン？
のみたんの方がいい？いえ、会長さんのお好きなように。動じないところはお兄さんにそっくり。でも新しい部か。やはり部員一人ではダメでしょうか？部ではなく同好会としてなら OK だけど、部活動じゃないから部費は下りないと思うよ。あ、それでしたらとりあえずはこれでどうにかしようかと。自分の賞金を自分で受け取るの？はい。問題がありましたか？新聞部に聞いてみないとちょっとわからないけどね。終わり？今朝新聞部の部長さんが来てね、珍しく落ち込んだ様子で終わりにするって言ってたの。となると残念だけど。大金を手に入れるチャンスだったのに。コナタン、なかなかずぶといね。晒し者にされたんだから怒りそうなものだけど。特に何も変わったことはありませんでしたし、気にしていませんよ。さすが兄弟、強いな。それで同好会ということでも構いませんので、申請の仕方はどうすればいいですか？よし、こうしようか。こちらの出した条件をクリアしたら部として認める。いえ、同好会でも構わないと今。部員欲しくない？この条件をクリアすると、なんと部活動を承認しちゃう上に部員までついてきます。はあ、それでしたら一応聞くだけでも。ふふ、将棋で私と勝負して勝つ。勝てばいいんですか？そう、私に勝てばいいだけ。ちなみに負けたらどうなりますか？そうだね。どうしよっかな。 ひょっとしてですけど。何？先輩って腹黒ですか？よーし、対局を始めようか、コナタン。なるほど。兄さんが苦悩する理由がわかりました。
Yeah! It's evening. Right now I'm waiting for dinner in the living room. Say, Chino, what have you been doing all day? What happened to you being a love fairy? Seems like she really turned into a total shut-in. So you forgot? How's that? I've been telling you that I'm not interested, haven't I? Aren't there other things you can do, like trying to pique my interest or something? A little effort wouldn't kill you, Miss Love Fairy. That's sad. It's not like I want the Love Fairy to put her back in it for me. But you know, regardless of what I do and what I don't do, doing nothing but eating and sleeping is definitely... A school uniform-clad Konami suddenly trots into the living room. Yeah, welcome back. You're pretty late. What's with you, Konami? You look pale. Konami? Konami's lifeless face reminds me of a zombie. What in the world happened? Oh my god. Crown jewels. Aoi-san! In response to Konami's shocking confession, Aoi-san collapses while foaming at the mouth. In the end, it turned out to be nothing serious. Apparently, she only lost to Shoge. Don't ask me, I don't know. You're the one who said it in the first place. They want me to say, these girls. But it really got me worried when you suddenly turned up like that with a pale face. I didn't say that. Don't say that, even as a joke. No, that wasn't referring to now. What are you talking about? You were always complaining how boring it was, staying in bed all day. Oh. Now that she mentions it, as a child, Konami wasn't really attached to me, and instead always clung to Dad. Considering that we're so close now, that she'd even casually tease me, it deeply moves me when I think about it. Dad must have been busy with work, and yet he always made time for you. It's not like I had anything better to do in the first place. Besides, I think it's only natural to visit your little sister if she's in the hospital.
ゃあ、兄さんが入院したら、私も毎日お見舞いしてあげるね。
I'm telling you, don't joke around about that sort of thing.
その時は、私も一緒にお見舞いします。
You, Tina? You'd go to the hospital?
はい。私がお見舞えば、立ちどころに元気いっぱいですよ。
A soul reaper who visits you in the hospital. Could there be any bad omen worse than that? Well, setting the talk about hospitals aside, isn't it pretty unusual for you to lose to a game of shogi? At a game of shogi?
いつも兄さんには負けているよ。
Yeah, true, but you have a positive win-loss ratio on the internet, right?
一応だけど。
So I didn't think there'd be anyone good enough to defeat you that was this close by.
私もびっくり。
Maybe calling to mind the course of the game, Konami seems as if she's seriously pondering something. As long as she keeps that earnest attitude toward shogi, I'm convinced that sooner or later she'll win against the person she lost to today. Hey, it made for a good exercise, right? So, did you already recover from the emotional scar you have suffered?
兄さんが頭を撫でてくれれば大丈夫。
Jeez, you put it like that, I can hardly refuse, can I? I place my hand on Konami's head and gently stroke her hair. Try your best to win next time.
負けないためにも修行する。
Training? As I ask that question, Tina begins to juggle my arm.
私も頭を撫でてもらえると大丈夫です。
If you want me to pay, you just say so. Since I have no particular reason to go through all the trouble of refusing her, I start to rub her head. So, what kind of training are you talking about?
実は指示を仰ぐことになりまして。
Under a teacher? Who?
将棋部の部長に。
I thought there was no shogi club.
なんと本日発足。
Oh, is that right? That must mean our talk with Junpo-senpai went well. I thought Konami would end up being the only member, but it's a relief to hear that there's someone who is proficient enough to become Konami's teacher.
ユーマさん、ユーマさん。見たいテレビがあるので、もういいです。
I see you're the type who does whatever springs to the mind, huh? As I let go of her head that I've been rubbing, Tina trots off towards the TV. And now that I think about it, it really feels like Tina perfectly blends into our family. Konami, do you enjoy your school life?
とっても。
Glad to hear. In that case, the main problem at present is... Leaving Tina's case aside, the major problem left is Junpo-senpai's relentless pursuit on bringing me into the student council. That alone seems to be a problem that'll cause more than just one headache.
あれ？今日はコナミちゃんいないの？
Yeah, apparently she has something to do at school. She left early in the morning looking really drowsy. It's very unusual for Konami to get up so early. Maybe her excitement regarding the club activities from the day on the... Maybe her excitement regarding the club activities from the day on got the better of her, and she just couldn't sleep anymore.
用事ってなんだろうね。
Don't know? Just ask her in person if you want to know. But let's set that aside and do the usual thing.
よろしくね。
Of course. As I gently grip Mio's hand, she presses her hand on her mouth to prevent her voice from leaking. And so we walk today's telephone pole distance. With the usual rehabilitation over, Mio and I head towards school side by side. But since Mio's eyes are still slightly swollen, I walk at a pace that's slow enough as time allows. Still vexed that you didn't manage to hold your tears?
昨日読んだ漫画でちょっとショック受けて。
Manga? You mean the one Tsukishima confiscated?
あれはもう全部読み終わってるよ。
I see. Which means she brought them to school in order to return them, huh?
ゆうくんが見た漫画の続きを昨日読んだの。そっちではヒロインが男の人と喧嘩しててね。
Was there heroin in that manga?
いたよ。
I guess I was wrong. I thought that only male characters would appear in those silent works. Seems I have to revise my view on them a bit. So, what happened?
その人がヒロインに向かって言ったの。
Yeah?
すぐ泣く女はうぜえって。
I see. So what's your point? Even without her telling me, I can more or less already see what she's getting at, though.
ゆうくんもうざいって思ったりする？
Ah. Wouldn't you know it? A mix of speechlessness, even admiration, and other emotions makes me even sigh in spite of myself. I never once thought of you as annoying when you cried.
本当？
Why would I lie? Also, in my opinion, it'd be a far greater issue if you didn't face your nature.
本質って？
Can you keep yourself from crying when a guy touches you? Well, then it goes without saying.
無理。
Right. However, you're doing your best at rehabilitation in order to fix that, aren't you?
それはそうだけど、いつ治るかわからないし。
Then, I'll make you cry until you do. That sounds so bad.
たくさん泣くよ。
I don't mind if you do, as long as you smile for at least the same amount of time to cancel it out.
笑うの？
Yeah. Smile. She wears a smile that makes the people around her happy. I shouldn't be the only one who's calmed by it. Konami, Tsukishima, Aoi-san, so all of them, I think everyone around us loves Mio's smile. Smiling is your field of expertise, right? So in return, you can cry in front of me as much as you want. That doesn't work for you? Mio shakes her head while saying, "No, I'm fine with that," in a barely audible voice.
なんかまた涙が出てきた。
A wry smile escapes me in response to Mio smiling while crying. That's alright. The extremely happy expression she shows me infects me, making a warm feeling spread within my chest. What I was seeing was undoubtedly the smile I'm loving. When we arrive at school after a while, I perceived a somewhat noisy atmosphere within the school. Don't tell me. Did Hanako not learn her lesson and put up on his posters again or something? While I change my shoes, I throw my gaze towards the crowd of people that's making the ruckus for some reason.
ゆうくん、すごい人だかりだね。
Yeah, true.
何があったんだろう。
I don't know. Why don't we look?
行こう。
I lead Mio to the notice board, ensuring that she doesn't bump into any male students. And as we arrive at the notice board, we find... Both Konami's posters and mine, which had been hanging there just yesterday, are now gone without a trace. But in place of that, there is a paper that says, "Notification from the Student Council," put up there.
生徒会将棋部ってなんだろうね。
Yeah, that's a very good question. Furthermore, it says, effective immediately, the Student Council changes its name to the Student Council Shogi Club.
あれ？ねえねえ、ゆうくん。これって。
Konami. The notification further continues with new member, Asawa Konami, first year. Konami. Don't tell me. Sorry, Mia. Go ahead to the classroom without me.
ゆうくんはどうするの？
I have to check something regarding the Shogi Club.
ちょっと、ゆうくん！
Shaking up Mio's voice, I hurry towards the student council room. In the hope that Jinpo-senpai is there, I put my hand on the door to the student council room. Thereupon, a familiar voice informs me that apparently there's already someone else who has come to pay a visit before me.
ジンポ先輩、これはどういうことなんですか？
Tsukishima, right? I can already guess why she's here, though. Without knocking in advance, I slide the door open with a start. Excuse me.
あれ、ゆうまくん？今日は朝からお客さんが多いな。浅場くん。
I spot Konami standing alongside Senpai.
兄さん、どうかしたの？
That's what I want to know. I'd like an explanation for what exactly is going on.
今日から生徒会であ アン先輩のお手伝いをすることにしたの。
Student council? I thought you joined the shogi club.
生徒会将棋部だよね。はい、そうです。
What is the meaning of this, senpai?
そんな怖い顔で睨まないでほしいな。
It's your fault for doing something that turns me into... that makes me turn... It's your fault for doing something that in turn makes me glare at you.
浅葉くんの言う通りです。でも、少なくとも私については兄さんに睨まれるようなことはしていないかと。そうだそうだ。
What do you mean by that, Konami?
だってアン先輩が将棋部の部長。
Pointing her hand towards her, Konami introduces the Shogi Club's president, thereby informing us that apparently Junpo-senpai is said Shogi Club president. Incidentally, the one who lost to you yesterday was... That means your teacher is...
将棋部の部長ことアン先輩。
I see now.
私はコナタンの師匠なのです。
Konatan.
コナミちゃんのこと可愛いでしょ。はい、可愛いです。
Well, I'm in no place to say anything if Konami doesn't mind it. I understand that Konami lost at Shogi and then the Shogi Club was founded with Junpo-senpai as president. Well, to be perfectly honest, that doesn't really add up either, but the biggest question is, just how did Konami end up joining the student
どう
council?
やら意味がわからずに思い悩んでいるようです。今の説明でわからなかったの？おそらく。じゃあもっと詳しく説明しよっか。そうですね。私も意味がわからないので、しっかり説明してください。
Tsukishima, who's been glaring at Senpai the whole time, probably concludes that there's no point in keeping up our daunting demeanor and eases up a bit.
そういえば、ユーリってそもそもどうして怒鳴り込んできたの？生徒会の名称のことってさっき言ったじゃないですか。名前を勝手に変えるだなんて非常識です。
Student Council Shogi Club, was it? I guess it's only natural for someone like Tsukishima, who's strict with the rules, to come storming in.
ああ、それなら今話した通りだけど。それでは意味がわかりません。
Same here.
もう結構詳しく喋ったのにな。なんだろう。簡単に言うと、ギブアンドテイクってやつ？ギブアンドテイク？私が将棋部を作りたいとアン先輩に相談したのですが、一人だと同好会になるから部費も下りないらしく、それで生徒会も人数が少なくてとても困ってるんだよってコナタに相談をした結果、合体しました。
Konami and Senpai merrily strike a fusion pose with such vigor that I wouldn't have been surprised if I actually heard the corresponding sound effects. In front of these two girls, I, and most likely Tsukishima as well, am assaulted by a severe headache. So in other words, in exchange for being able to perform club activities, you have to help out at the student council.
そういうこと。
Finally, everything comes together. That's indeed what you'd call Gibu and Teiko. I actually heard from Seoul that sometimes clubs with too few members share a club room or fuse together. But I've never heard of the student council being a fusion partner.
ふざけないでください。そんなつもりはないんだけど。そんなことあります。どうして？生徒会は各部の予算割り当てなど、それらの仕事を公平に行うことが前提なんですよ。仮にも生徒会長なんだから、それくらい知ってるよ。それが特定な部活と合体なんて。他の部に対してどうやって公平な立場を保つんですか？
I see. Now she says that that's a good point. I can't think of an objection in regards to Tsukishima's point, but apparently that doesn't apply to Junpo
部
senpai.
員人数と実績に応じた額にするつもりだよ。ほら、これが予算表。これは問題ある金額にはなっていないと思うんだけどな。
Seems like she's already taken care of everything in regards to that. I gotta hand it to her. Seems she's quite capable when it's needed.
それでもやっぱりおかしいです。代表機関である生徒会と部活動が一緒になるなんて。 だからギブアンドテイクなんだよ、ユーリ。私はコナタンに将棋部を作りたいと相談されたから、生徒会に入ってもらう代わりに仕事を手伝ってもらう。私は生徒会の仕事を手伝う代わりに、先輩は将棋部員として一緒に部活をしてもらう約束です。理解できなくはないです。
Tsukishima is at a loss on how to reply. I'm probably the same. She started a club for Konami's sake, but at the same time, it's still hard to overlook Senpai's eccentric way of implementing it. Is it really so wrong if it's being done for the right reasons? That thought also passed my mind.
わかりました。もう結構です。ありがとう。分かってくれてよかったよ。いくら言っても先輩には通じないことが分かりました。ユーリの言うこともちゃんと聞いてるんだけどな。ただ一つ知っておいていただきたいことがあります。何を？部活申請に必要な人数は最低5人です。現在の生徒会の人数を合わせても足りません。あれ、そう？私とコナタンとコエタ君と。
I'll probably be a lightning strike out of nowhere for him, but Soul is inclined included in her count before he's even aware of it. How should I put it? It's kind of like he's the type who always gets the short end of the stick. Makes me pity him.
あとはユーマくんにユーリが入れば合計5人？なんで私が入ってるんですか？
I'm also fairly positive I declined your offer to join the student council.
ユーマくんもユーリも私と合体しちゃえば全部解決なんだけどな。しません。
Fusing all and everything together is not a magic bullet for solving problems.
でも風紀委員と一緒になればユーリが困ってても私たちが助けてあげられるよ。結構です。
In response to Jimbo-senpai's proposal, Tsukishima strongly refuses.
とにかく部活申請にも生徒会の名称についても風紀委員はそれを認めていないことはお伝えしておきます。本当に固いな、ユーリは。ちゃんと改めてください。それでは失礼します。
Having said that, Tsukishima leaves the student council room. I feel like I've just got a glimpse of the problems that the PMC is burdened with. Well, the policy is the exact opposite of the student council president's anything goes as long as it's a desired result approach, so it's really no wonder that they'd clash with each other.
それで、ユーマくんはどうする？
I humbly decline your kind offer.
コナタンが心配じゃないの？私何するかわからないよ。
My sister seems to like you, and besides, I think that I can trust you to some extent.
兄さん大胆発言。その信頼できる先輩と一緒に働くチャンスだよ。
This has nothing to do with it. I decline.
もう本当に強情なんだから。頑固な兄ですので。
Why does it look like I'm the bad guy now? Anyway, thanks, senpai.
突然何？
I'm just thanking you for respecting what Konami, what my sister wants to do.
やめてよ。そういうの照れくさいし。
It's just that I think you should have consulted with the people around you, like Soul or Tsukishima, before taking action.
私そんな衝動的に見える？
A person who isn't impulsive would think of a better name than one you came up with. Student Council Shogi Club. She only strung two names together.
コナタンはいいって言ったのにな。この安直さ加減がたまりません。
It would seem that naming sense, or rather that idiotic vibe to the name, just met Konami's personal taste. Let's leave the naming aside for now. At least in Tsukishima's eyes, you might seem to be always acting impulsively.
ふざけているつもりはこれっぽっちもないんだけどね。
How about you think objectively about it rather than subjectively?
それも分かってるよ。分かってるんだけどな。
She mutters that, as if she's persuading herself rather than consenting with me. Then she gently smiles and continues.
後でこうしておけばよかったなんて そんな後悔をして過ごしたくないんだ。なんて。結局は自分の都合なんだけど。
She shows a somewhat embarrassed smile. That pattern of thinking reminds me of a certain someone I happen to know very well. That certain someone is a guy who once lost his life. And now that guy struggles to live in his life to its fullest without leaving behind any regrets. So for that reason, I can't deny her way of thinking. It's impossible for me to deny it. I see now.
あれ、納得しちゃった？
Partly, but there is a part that doesn't.
半端だね。その、納得していない一部って？
Your way of doing things is likely to leave Tsukishima without a smile on her face.
だろうね。
As long as you just understand, that's good enough for me.
ねえねえ、ゆうまくんってもしかしてユーリの彼氏？それはちょっと聞き捨てならないですね。
No, I'm not. And Konami, don't chime in there.
じゃあ、どうしてユーリを笑顔にしたいの？
Isn't it obvious? I continue as I apply my hand to the student council room door. Naturally, it's best to have everyone wear smiles on their faces. Saying that, Senpai stares at me with her mouth wide open while Konami smiles. Take care of my sister. Seen out by her staggered gaze, I leave the student council room behind me. After school, in the end, Tsukishima had been ill-humored for the rest of the day. I tried to talk to her several times, but we never managed to have a real conversation. It weighed on my mind that she returned to the dorm room in that state, so I decided to voice a little request at the infirmary. If there's work to do, let me prioritize dorm-related work.
寮関係の仕事だって？
Although she's a school nurse, she's also the supervisor of the girls' dorm at the same time. For that reason, I often had the chance to do dorm-related work. Why are you giving me that curious look?
珍しいだろう。お前が自分から仕事をやりたがるなんて。
That's so.
そうだ。で、それは今日張り出されてたあれに関連することか？
Something like that.
生徒会将棋部だったか？適当な名前だな。
That's what I told the president as well.
手が早いな。もう人法とそんな仲になってるとは。
I don't really know what you're imagining, but I'm nothing more than a pitiable brother whose sister has been taken away.
ああ、そういえば、コナミも生徒会に入ったんだったな。もしかして、それで生徒会将棋部なのか？
Well, basically, it's a hassle to explain everything in detail, so that's all I say.
お前は、面倒ごとに巻き込まれるのが好きだな。
I don't remember growing to love it, honestly.
ま、そういうことにしておこう。
It bothers me that she seems to be implying something with that, but, well...
さて、女子寮に関する仕事なら、竹だな。
The normal one. Ah, I guess she's talking about the one of the two remaining chores that was set out of 3 presented to me the other day. What do you want me to do?
私の服の洗濯を頼む。
What the heck?
お前こそ何を言っている？ユーマが望んだ通り、寮での仕事内容だぞ。
That's not dorm-related work.
俺も社会勉強の一つだと思って我慢しろ。
Ah, got it. I'm the one who asked for it after all. I'll do it.
下着が欲しいなら持って帰ってもいいぞ。
As if I'd care about your panties. Anyways, now that I have a pretext, I leave the infirmary and hurry to the dorm. The laundry room is not only used by the boarding students, but also by the sports clubs. I heard that there are several voices raised demanding the use of the laundry room to be free of charge. However, it resulted in students bringing their own personal laundry, and ultimately leading to that plan getting scrapped again. Well then, it's fully automatic, so I should be able to quickly do the laundry and be done with it. But seriously, she could have at least put her underwear in a laundry bag. I stopped my eyes from being drawn towards the black and translucent underwear. At the very least, there's no question that it's underwear of a color and design not found in my home. Anyways, I should get this done while no one else is around. Meh. As I throw various laundry into the washer, the owner of a familiar voice approached me. There's nothing I'm guilty of, after all. I'm only doing what I was told to do. But apparently, to Tsukishima, it doesn't look that way. Hey, say something. You make it sound like I'm doing something wrong. So that's how it goes. I'm curious, just how did you see me? Let me just say this. You're probably having some huge misunderstanding regarding this. I came here to do the laundry, and also, this is not mine. Oh, that backfired. Look, Asawa-sensei told me to do it. Jeez. Thank God. Yeah, so it's not like I sold it, or anything. Do I actually look like a pervert to the extent of being worthy of that suspicion? No, you weren't. It seemed to me that your eyes were full of seriousness, really. Admittedly, I clearly need to be thankful to her for this. I mean, her little errand made me cross by the very person I was looking for. But I must say, the ill-humored aura she had around her during the day has dissipated considerably by now. Maybe because she loosened up once the school day was over. Well, it's nothing. You came to do laundry too? Oh, sorry. I divert my eyes from Tsukishima and continue throwing the laundry into the washer. While I proceed just like that, I glance at Tsukishima's back. It's not like I want to see her laundry or anything. Tsukishima is so quiet now that she seems like a completely different person than at the student council room this morning. Not once have I thought of you as annoying. What you always say is right and makes sense. Albeit that may cause friction with people like our president. But I can declare with absolute certainty that Tsukishima isn't wrong in what she does. Are you bothered about what happened this morning? At that question, Tsukishima casts her eyes down and sinks into silence. In the time I struggle with the question of whether I should say something to cover her or not, Tsukishima mutters softly, well, I guess you could say so. It might well be that in the past there were similar instances of what happened this morning. Right. I don't think it was wrong to do so. True. Can't do anything about that part. But regardless, isn't it still something that at least someone must tell her? That's only natural, considering the very head of the organization is twisting the rules arbitrarily. It's not boring. Also, there's no need for you to apologize. Yeah. I think the reason Tsukishima feels down most likely stems from her own strong sense of what is right. And in that case, how should I value that? That's a weird way to ask that question. In that case, how should I value that, Tsukishima? This is a question that's very easy to answer. That's why I want you to continue saying what is right, and not only to the president, to me, to Hanako, and everyone else as well. If no one says it, then wrongdoings will slip through unpunished. That would make the people who play by the rules look like idiots. This time, Jinpo-senpai overdid it. I know that, and she obviously knows that as well. Yeah, so, well, in exchange I'll tell you what I think is right if you ever do something unreasonable. What's with that surprised face?
だって
Because
女物の服を洗っている男性に言われてもね。
rather than a wry smile, she shows a somewhat nonplussed one. You have a point. Even so, I'm glad we finally smiled. So, you want me to do your laundry next too?
結構です。
No need to be shy.
普通そこは男性が遠慮するところじゃない？
A sound argument.
私が浅場くんに正論を言われることはなさそうかな。
I can't even imagine that you'd say anything wrong in the first place.
試しに言ってみたら叱ってくれる？
You want to try again? Like what, for example?
そうね。
Shikishima sets her gaze adrift and begins searching for something that I wouldn't expect.
沢田先生の下着を洗えて嬉しい？
I don't think I gave you any reason to believe that.
でも寮生の間では有名よ。浅場くんが沢田先生の召使いだって。
That's pretty shocking. It's true that I do help her out though, so I can't clearly declare that I'm not.
先生のお世話をするのが趣味なのよね。
I don't remember having that hobby.
それが反論？
Shikishima triumphantly shows a composed expression. That in itself is quite rare expression for Shikishima to make, but regardless of that, I'll try to respond to that composed face appropriately. It's not like it's actually a real argument, but Sawada-sensei was one of my father's students.
教え子？
Yeah, he was a teacher. Well, passed away a couple of years ago, though. An uncomfortable expression surfaces on Tsukishima's face. I didn't mean to cause her to make such a face. I'm the one that brought it out, don't worry about it. I take a quick breath and go on. She cried a lot for him. When he died to his illness, she cried for him more than his family did. Both Konami and I were also dumbfounded at the situation that we didn't cry at all. Back then we were just completely hollow. Aoi-san didn't cry either. She probably braced herself because she had to think about the future, so at the funeral she remained firm while gently gripping our hands. So out of all of us, she was the only one who cried for Dad. In the place of us three, she dedicated a lot of tears to Dad. So I want to help her out as much as I can and grant her days where she can spend her time casually with a small smile on her face. In the end, it's merely my ego, though. Well, did that have a persuasive power?
ありすぎかな。
Sorry. It was a heavy story.
その納得した。
Then I suppose it was worth telling her. So, Tsukishima, I want you to smile too.
どうして私が？
You felt sad when you heard my story about Dad, right? So I want to make you casually smile as well.
適当ってもう。
Casual smile is better than a sad face, right?
適当になんて笑いません。
Saying that, Tsukishima displays an extremely gentle smile. So, are those already the clothes you need to wash here?
残りは手で洗うものだから。
I'm free until laundry is done anyway, so I'll help if you
浅
want.
場くんってよくわからない。
What are you talking about?
いい人なのか悪い人なのかエッチな人なのか。
Sorry. That's what you have to wash by hand.
そういうのよ。
I can't say anything about being good or bad, but I'm just your normal perverted guy.
最低。
I'm a guy, gotta deal with it. At night, after taking a bath, I returned to my room. Oh, a lot of this was the same as other videos I posted. The only thing that changed was basically the very short interaction between me and Konami, which is unfortunate. If I knew that in advance, I probably would have recorded this and edited it and just like threw in those little differences. So, oh well, if you're a new subscriber, then you get to see it all over again if you haven't seen the previous videos. So there's that. It's been an hour, so I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna save it real quick on Konami and try to do another hour tomorrow.